All right, we're back for the third wheel spin. We are making excellent time today. Let's go ahead and see what we're playing next. Well then, so here's how this is gonna work. Whatever you guys want me to post on Twitter, that's what I'm gonna post. Put what you want me to say in the chat. There is a caveat. It can't get me banned, but other than that, anything goes. So I will take your suggestions, in quotes now, and then we'll come back to that at a later point. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what league we're playing. Green, white, Coco. All right, so this is green, white, Coco. So obviously, there's a bunch of different green, white, Coco decks. Like Angels is a green, white, Coco deck, and there are human green, white, Coco decks. But this green, white, Coco deck is specifically just playing as many aggressive / value creatures as it can without being beholden to any specific tribal synergy. So, of course, we have the 8 elves. Then we've got Werewolf Pack Leader on 2. Whenever it attacks, if you attack with the creatures with total power 6 or plus, then draw a card, and you can pay 4 to turn it into a 5/3 with trample. 1 Voice of Resurgence. Then we've got 4 Archon of Emirias to screw up opponents' lands and multi-spell casting turns, 4 Brutal Cathars, 2 Elite Spellbinders, 4 Skyclave Apparitions, 4 Lovestruck Beasts, of course the Cocos, 1 Emiria's Call for when we flood out and have this to play, and Kayla's Reconstruction as basically Coco's numbers 5 through 7. Pretty stock green-white mana base with a Lair of the Hydra as our manland, a Gonjo, and Boseiju. Sideboard, 3 Rip, 2 Anointed Peacekeeper, 2 Redains, Wedding Announcement, Guardian of Faith. This is a 3 mana 3/2 with Flash and Vigilance, and it says when it enters the battlefield, any number of other target creatures you control phase out. So it's basically an anti-sweeper / removal spell that's also a creature, and you can also like block things that would have been chump blocks and then phase your guys out. 1 Elesh Norn, which is obviously not Cocoable, but sometimes this matters. 2 Shaper Sanctuaries, a 2nd Voice of Resurgence, and a Johnny Sleeper Agent, which is 4 mana or 3 if you complete it, which would mean it enters with only 2 loyalty. +1, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom. So it hits on everything in the deck except Coco, Kayla's, and lands. -3, distribute 3/1 counters among up to 3 creatures. They gain vigilance. And then the ultimate, whatever, who cares? But I guess I should read it. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison. So that is the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the third league of the day. All right, we're on the play for round 1. Looks fine to me. Let's keep. Forest into Elf, go. Botanical Sanctum is almost certainly Lotus Field. Okay, never mind. Not Lotus Field. Shock this in, play Archon. Is it the Rona Lukka deck? I think that's the only other deck that plays Sanctum Elf, right? Or the only deck that plays those two? Forest. Sylvan Caryatid. Yeah, it's the Rona Lukka deck, isn't it? Archon does a pretty good job of stumping that deck. All right, let's just Coco right now. Coco. Brutal Cathar, Werewolf Pack Leader is probably the choice here. Brutal, eat your elf, Pack Leader for more damage. Yeah, let's do that. And then target the elf, swing with Archon, and then back over to them. And the Archon is doing a pretty good job of slowing down their mana production, I would assume, since all their non-basics come in tapped, right? Breeding Pool. Kinnon. Okay. Well, I'm going to Skyclave that 100%. So, Skyclave. Eat your Kinnon. And then go to combat, swing all. We get to draw a card off Pack Leader. All right. They've conceded to that. So, they're the Rona Lukka deck. So, what do we need? Anointed Peacekeeper can make their spells more expensive. So, that matters. Norn stops Atraxa, but not Rona. Redain makes all their payoffs more expensive, so we want Redain. What do we not want? Voice is pretty bad. What else? I want all my removal creatures so I can eat their stuff. I want all of my taxing effects. Lovestruck Beast just beats them down really fast, so I want that. Archon's, of course, good. Although, actually, is Archon good? So if they ever get to their combo turn, they can just Retraction Helix it back to my hand, but they can't do that if I have double Archon. Also, if they're trying to dig for the combo, then they only get to play 1 spell a turn. So this is 4, 12, 34 creatures, so I can easily cut creatures. So Pack Leader, Love Beast. It's probably the beatdown creatures more than anything else. Maybe just these guys. That seems fine. All right, let's do that. All right, turn 1 elf, turn 2 Cathar. Seems good. Keep. Any sort of like combo synergy decks struggle really hard to beat this deck because this deck just picks apart what you're doing while applying pressure. Mana Confluence means they only have one land. Otherwise, they would have played a different land. Unless this is their only green source, but who knows. All right, they find a forest. Over to us, Razor Verge into Elf, and then pass back to them. Sylvan Caryatid is immune to Brutal, unfortunately, so we got to play Redain instead. All right, Redain. Make your 4-drops more expensive. Plaza of Heroes. Kinnon. Excellent. A creature I can target with my Brutal Cathar. So then they have 3 mana from here. Double black. Tyvar. And they get to untap this, maybe, or just mill and try to hit something. No, untap this. Green. Elf, which can also tap immediately. Man, are they just going to play their entire hand right now? No, they have one more card. All right, so Tyvar needs to die, but Kinnon also needs to die. I can't do both. So I think the move is Brutal, Kinnon away, and then send everything at Tyvar. Because the alternative is Skyclave the Tyvar, but then they get to keep Kinnon around. All right, so let's just go Brutal, eat Kinnon, and go to combat and swing at Tyvar. So this forces them to either trade their Elf off or put Tyvar to 1 counter, which means they can't mill. It does leave them with 6 mana, though, which is exactly enough to transmogrify into Atraxa. Well, blue legendary is probably Rona, right? Or another Kinnon. Another Kinnon. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Do they just have an Atraxa in their hand? Yep, they just have an Atraxa in their hand, and we can't beat that. Oh, no. They're spinning Kinnon. Okay. And they hit Atraxa. Well, we officially lose because we can't beat this. Right? Like, we actually cannot beat Atraxa, like, at all with anything in our deck. I guess so I Brutal it away. They're still drawing 10 billion cards, one of which is Retraction Helix, so even if I get rid of it, they took Rona, Amber, Lukka, they took Botanical Sanctum, there's Amber. Oh, they can just win right now, right? Oh yeah, they actually just win right now. Oh, did they just screw up? They needed to float blue, so they had Retraction Helix. So they also took Lukka. Let's see. Yeah. Couldn't they have just won immediately right there? We're still so dead on our turn, right? Like, I Brutal Cathar this Atraxa, and then they just combo. I guess I killed a Tyvar off. No, then they just spin Kinnon into Infinite. I'm short on being able to do both. They took another Rona off the Oath, so I go Brutal this, kill Tyvar, then they untap with Retraction Helix and win the game. Because they just spin Kinnon into another thing. I go Brutal Kinnon, they just go Infinite, pick a Tyvar up, put Tyvar back down, or pick Atraxa back up and put it back down and draw their whole deck. If I take Rona, they just have another Rona in their hand, so yeah, we're dead. Norn, only thing it does is stops Atraxa's trigger, but it has no other effect. Yeah, let's just run back the same thing. This is okay. I guess I will keep this. Razor Verge, Elf, go. Mana Confluence, Oath of Nissa, finds Lukka. All right, let's just play this, play Pack Leader, and then attack with this Elf. Swing. And then if they just play Caryatid, then we don't have actions on our turn. Yeah, Caryatid. I can Kalas for 1. That seems so bad. I can make Werewolf into a 5/3 and draw a card. That's better. Oh no, I can't make... I have to spend the Elf in order to do it. All right, let's just go combat attack with the Werewolf. They're not going to block it. 6+, right? Yeah. All right. Activate the ability, and then next turn we're just going to Kalas for 2, probably. Just running out Skyclave there seems so terrible. Like, Skyclave, take your Oath of Nissa, which doesn't matter. Second Mana Confluence. They are taking a lot of damage from their lands. They're 1 turn off being able to Lukka, so I need to find, like, Redain or something to Kalas into. Tyvar. Mills and hits Rona. What a draw. Loots with Rona. Discards Atraxa from their hand. Now we drew Coco. All right, so if I just Coco or if I just Kalas right now, then they can just chump with the Caryatid to save Tyvar. So I need to attack Tyvar and before doing that so that they have no reason to block. Yeah, so combat. I could also just Skyclave the Rona, but then they just have 5 mana for Lukka. So I really do need to, yeah, so kill Tyvar off. If they just untap and go Transmog to Atraxa, then we're so dead. So let's Kalas for 2. Try to hit Redain or something. All right, Kalas for 2. We did hit Redain, and we also hit Spellbinder and Skyclave. Ooh. All right, so Skyclave gets Rona off the board, and Redain makes it so they can't play Lukka this turn. All right, let's do that. Hits the board, trigger, eat Rona. So back to them. Tap land. So they wouldn't have played Lukka anyway, or they played that because they can't play Lukka. Takes more damage from Mana Confluence. Plays Tyvar. Mill, and they hit in Caryatid. Plays an elf. All right, let's see. So Redain kills Tyvar. Werewolf and Skyclave attack them. They can just block here. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, which is enough to play Lukka Transmog. So, or I can just go Skyclave this, but then I'm not Cocoing this turn. Let's see what I hit off Pack Leader first. So let's go Combat. Maybe I'm just supposed to send everything at them. If I send Pack Leader Redain this at them, right? Then the Pack Leader can grow, and then that's 7 damage to them, rendering their mana confluences unusable if they don't block it. I'm not going to use the elf this turn anyway, so yeah, let's just attack them with everything. So attack, trigger the wolf, drew Brutal Cathar. So even if they hit Atraxa next turn, we still win. If I Coco right now and find another exile effect, I exile this. They have to block here. No, they don't. So this blocks this. This can become a 5/3, so they have to block this. Or they have to block over here, basically. All right, so rather than Coco, let's just pump this and then make their mana confluences unusable. And then they only have 2 Caryatids, 2 lands, and Tyvar. Yeah, so activate this. No! Retraction Helix on this guy? All right, so then they Helix our wolf back to our hand. And they only take 2 damage. Or I guess they can Retraction Redain back. I don't know. One or the other. Bouncing Redain. All right, they still take 5. Play a land, go. So, okay, they get to play Lukka, Transmog into Atraxa. Then we go Brutal Cathar, eat Atraxa. Attack, they have to chump block the wolf. Oh, wait, no, they're spending the Caryatids to do it. So then they just die. No, they untap a thing with Tyvar. No, they're untapping it so they don't have to take damage. All right. Why would you tap Mana Confluence instead of just Plaza? Yeah, so Atraxa, Amber, Caryatid, another Atraxa, Oath, Breeding Pool, Oath of Nissa, Karn, Plaza, Botanical, Plaza. All right, so they took Sylvan Caryatid as their creature. Plays an Oath, finds a Forest. Why wouldn't you just play Caryatid here? I guess they have Amber into Caryatid, but then they're down to 1. Although I guess that's not relevant. Forest. Oh, they haven't played a land yet. Okay. Amber, and then Caryatid. And then we just exile Atraxa, attack both, and then they die. Again, unless they have another Retraction Helix. So they have 2 cards we don't know about. If they have exactly Retraction Helix, they can swing this game. All right, we drew an elf. So let's see if we win. Brutal Cathar. Actually, no, even if they have Retraction Helix. Oh, no, okay, so they pay Mana Confluence. Yeah, target this. And then they just go target Caryatid, bounce. And then they block with Atraxa, and then we lose the game. So they have to have exactly Retraction Helix. Go to combat. Swing with these. Oh my god, they do have Attraction Helix. They just had a second Helix in their hand. Didn't even find it off the top 10. So now we instantly lose the game. Because now they hit Atraxa again. They block. We lose a guy. They go up to 8. And then they just have the combo in their hand. All right. Well, that took a turn for the worst really fast. Round 2, we're on the draw. And this hand's not very good. We don't have any ramp into this stuff. And if we don't hit a 3rd land, it's just useless. Yeah, we can do better than this. Let's mull. Well, that's going to have to do it. So keep this Bene Temple Garden. All right. Nykthos? Yeah, all right. Ooh, Brutal Cathar and Archon are pretty good against them. So play Llanowar Elves. Boseiju plays Kiora. All right. Is it better to just eat this or play Archon? It's probably better to eat this. All right. Brutal Cathar. Then back to them. Another 3-drop. All right, Old Growth Troll that we can't attack into. Ooh, and Nykthos. All right, so we got to Boseiju that. So stop on your draw step. Do you know why the game sometimes just switches to full control mode even when I don't want it to, and then I have to like manually tap all the mana? All right, so over to them, stop and draw. Boseiju, Nykthos. Archon's really good against Nykthos ramp, so hopefully we can deploy that next turn and it's relevant. Karn, of course. I still can't even really attack them. Getting Darksteel Citadel, playing Darksteel Citadel. Like, anything I attack with just trades with the troll. That's the problem. Oh, Karn's so annoying. Okay, so they can just go for boat next turn and then boat whatever I play. So I basically have to suicide attack my guys into Karn to get Karn down to where he can't tutor again. Yeah, I guess that's what I have to do. All right. Yeah, combat, everything at Karn. Trigger the wolf draw. So they block Brutal, and then they get their guy back, but at least Karn's dead. And then we go land, elf, Archon. Pass. But they still just have 3 cards and can potentially storm or whatever. There's Cavalier. They get to draw. Cityscape Leveler in the yard. Fantastic. So we're still losing. We're drawing nothing. I can't even attack them. All right. Tap land, go. They have what? 8 mana with Kiora? Or just 8 mana period? Yeah, unearth. They get to draw another card. Then they get to attack. And I presume they just blow up Archon of Emeria. There goes Archon of Emeria. I don't have any good blocks either, so I just take 12. Drawing into Emeria's Call. Do I actually have the mana to cast that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Non-angels gain indestructible, but not vigilance. So I still don't have any attacks on Kiora. So white, white, white. This. I don't think there's a reason to hold my elves back. Cast. Play this tapped and go. Oh, look, something else that's expensive. Another Cavalier. Hits a Storm in the graveyard and Nykthos, and then they storm off. Oh, and they still have a Kiora on tap as well. Cool. Oh, and Karn. They just win the game. All right, whatever. Let's see. Rip's good. Peacekeeper's good. Redain's good. Elishnorn's good. Is a Johnny good? No, not really. Voice sucks. What else sucks? Just anything that's not stacks pieces. This thing just like doesn't even attack them very well. So cut that. Is Lovestruck Beast even good? It's bigger than Troll, but it's not bigger than Cavalier. So let's see. These are non-cocoable hits right here. So if I cut 3 beasts, then that leaves me with 23, 25, 27 cocoa hits. That's enough. All right, run that. On the play, this is fine. Keep this. Shock this in, play an elf, and go. And then my next move probably just has to be play Anointed to take them off whatever they're going to play on turn 3, or on turn 2 rather. Shock this in, play Anointed. So yeah, just name Kiora. Or do I just name Storm and then I don't care if they play Kiora? I don't think I'm going to be able to kill them before they hit Storm. So, all right, let's name Storm the Festival and pass. So yeah, they get to go Kiora, untap, play Oath of Nissa, but what are you going to do? It's better to just try to keep them off the Storm. Kiora, untap, play Oath, found Nykthos. This gets to attack Kiora at least. Brutal Cathar takes them off of this. All right, yeah, let's do that. Brutal Cathar, eat your dude. Adventure mode this, and then combat, swing at Kiora. And they untap with 4 mana. Nykthos, Wolf Willow Haven, Oath of Nissa, found Karn. All right, I think we're good then. We get to kill Kiora off, and then they play Karn, but they can't really do much with it. All right, cast Lovestruck Beast, cast Elf, go to combat. This at Kiora, this at you, this at you. And then I get to Kayla's for at least 2 next turn, or just play Norn. Norn's pretty good too. Seiju as your land, plays Karn. Karn's 4. Probably Sky Sovereign, right? Yeah. All right, let's just play Norn. Combat, attack them, except for this one, which attacks Karn. All right, we won, and then we got to win game 3, and I think everything here stays the same. Submit. We have no ramp. This unfortunately is too slow. It's such a good hand with if it just had an elf in it, but it doesn't. We can't afford to not do anything until turn 3. All right, mull that. I guess that's better. Keep this binning. We need turn 1 green source, so I can't bin that. I don't want to bin this. So I guess I'm binning plains. Yeah. Even though I'm probably just running a Gonjo out. All right. Bin plains. Turn 1 elf. Turn 1 elf for us as well. Back to them. Oath of Nissa. All right. I like seeing no troll, no Kiora on turn 2. Gets a troll. Plays another elf. So let's see. Obviously, I'm playing one of these. The only question is which one is it better to hit Old Growth Troll with, or which one is it better to have the option for? So what if they like untap and play Karn next turn, right? Then I guess I just attack and kill Karn, right? So that's fine. What if they untap and play Kiora? Then I need to be able to eat Kiora. All right, so let's just play Brutal Cathar, take a guy, and then back over to them. Another land, Kiora. All right, yeah, so I need to take that. Wrist in peace. Yeah, I need to just take Kiora. So target Kiora, combat, swing, swing. Back to them. Here's the troll. Obviously, I can't attack them anymore, but it was way more important to just make sure Kiora doesn't trigger. All right, so let's play Rip, and then a land, and then I guess we just pass. And there's Storm. All right, at least they can't flash it back. Karn and Cavalier. I have to basically probably rip Kayla's off the top in order to just not immediately lose the game here. Would they exile? Yeah, they got Boat. Wow, we actually ripped Kayla's off the top. All right, well, can't delay it, so Kayla's for all Zamana. Triple Archon. All right, triple Archon. Bam, triple Archon. Go. They still get to Boat, and they still get to... Like, even that is not good enough. They have 7 mana, soon to be 8. They can just play Cityscape Leveler next turn or whatever. They can boat. Okay, they're boating one of our Archons, sure. And then they can just start crewing the boat and killing our guys off. I really, really needed to hit, like, Brutal Cathars or something, I guess, so I could, like, eat these and then attack them. I have to, what, hit another Kayla's and then try to, like, exile everything? I don't even know what I could hit right now. They still have Karn. They still have Boat to start picking our guys off. They still have a board that's too big for us to attack into. I could, what, Besage the Sky Sovereign if I drew that? Karn minuses and grabs Filigree Silex. Coco's a good draw. So, let's see. I could go like... I still can't think of anything that would actually get me out of this. Brutal Cathar... Like, double Brutal Cathar, eat both of these. They crew in response. Suicide attack to kill Karn off. And then... on their turn, they can just animate Lair and attack and crew the boat and start killing our guys. So even if I hit Brutal Cathar, it doesn't matter. So the other alternative is to do what? Wait for them to crew it and then cast Coco and hope to hit Brutal Cathar to exile the Sky Sovereign. I think that's my only way out, right? Because I can't keep them from crewing it. What if I actually hit double Brutal right now, right? I go double Brutal, target both of these. They go crew in response. I attack with not anywhere near enough damage. And then they just crew it again. Yeah, so I just have to Coco into Brutal Cathars at instant speed. That's the only out. Yep. All right, pass it over to them. This at least flips over. Oh, wait. It's night now, so I can't do it? Oh, F. Right, because it'll come in on the night side. So there was zero way I could get out of that. All right. Skyclave doesn't kill it. Night side Brutals don't kill it. I can hit what? Like another flying creature and just try to double block or something? That's so bad. Yeah, I can't think of any way to get out of this. All right, sure. Let's see what they target. Targeting Archon. All right, Coco, Redain, Peacekeeper, Archon. All right, so I need to keep Archons in play to prevent them from storming, I guess. So I have to have double... This is a 5/5, and then I have to triple block it. They kill another thing, but at least their boat's off the field. And then I have to suicide attack into Karn. Yeah. All right, so Redain, Archon. All right, so then my guy dies and I go to blocks and I have to block with everything. All right, they kill another Archon off and then it's back to them. And they still have 4 cards and 7 mana. Might Stone, Weak Stone, main deck. Kill one of our guys. We can no longer kill Karn off unless I swing literally everything into it. They're killing this, okay? Another Brutal Cathar. All right, great draw. Play Brutal. Oh no, it's nighttime. God damn it. I keep forgetting that, so it doesn't trigger. They have 3 blockers, so everything attacks Karn, and then what? Everything attacks Karn. They just block 3 of them. We get 1 damage in. I lose my basically whole board to doing that. And if I don't do anything, which I'm not going to, then they just tutor up Cityscape Leveler, and then we still lose. Why is this the one transform card that does something that doesn't do its effect on its backside? All of the other ones... like Graveyard Trespasser, for example, they all have basically, they do the same thing, but just slightly more. But this one doesn't do it. Oh, they just have a Cityscape Leveler in their hand already. Didn't even need to tutor it. All right, screw this. Whatever, we're done. On to round 3. All right, we're on the play for round 3. This is fine. Keep this. So land Elf over to them. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Thoughtseize. So if I were them, I guess I would just take Kayla's, right? It's the most like value card in my hand. Took Archon. Maybe that slows them down too much. So just playing a Skyclave here is just awful. With no target. Is it better to just get it on the board as opposed to not having anything? I guess it isn't, right? There's just no chance it is. All right, so play this tapped. Yeah, so all they did was just deny us our turn 2 play. That's kind of the problem with Thoughtseize and Pioneer, whereas like in Modern and other formats, it's used to be an interactive piece. In Pioneer, it's just take you off of whatever you were going to curve into. Sheoldred's Edict, eat our guy. All right, land, play another elf. Go. So blue, black, something or other. Well, doing nothing seems really bad. So, I guess let's just cast Kayla's. Despite the fact that we get less value from it. Kayla's. And I assume they just have a counterspell, right? They're playing blue, black, no tap out. No counters? All right. Well, I guess I'm going to take Lovestruck Beast. Or I just take Elf and then play a bigger Kayla's next turn. I don't know. Whatever, let's just get Lovestruck Beast. Back over to you. They didn't do anything. Another land. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. So now they'll just take Kayla's. No, they're taking Skyclave. What in the world are we playing against that they want to take these instead of Kayla's? It has to be like some kind of combo deck, right? So, all right. Play an X2 Kayla's. X2 Kayla's. If they have a counterspell, then why didn't they counterspell the last one? All right, whatever. Attack with Lovestruck. Field of Ruin. What is this deck? Blue-black control. Archfiend. So it's just Archfiend alteration, but no red. They haven't played an Archfiend. Archfiend. Yeah, is that why it is? So they're taking... Why'd they take Archon first then? Oh, no, they took Archon first just to deny us our turn 2 play. So they took Skyclave so that we can't Skyclave the Archon when they eventually, the Archfiend when they eventually play it. I guess that makes sense. Crippling Fear, -3 on everything. So our Elf goes away and then we can't attack with Lovestruck Beast anymore. All right, I'll play Voice. Over to you. All right, Fatal Push. All right, so it looks like, I don't know, for whatever reason, they're saying their Field of Ruin is not able to work, that they're trying to activate it for its, sack ability, and they can't. So they just killed Voice of Resurgence instead. All right, do I just run out Skyclave at this point just to get in more damage? Probably not. All right, let's just keep attacking with, let's attack with the Elemental token. Swing, play a land, go. I guess they do have Hive of the Eye Tyrant, so so if we don't draw a creature, yeah, right, then we'd have to Skyclave just so that we can attack into it. Oh, okay, apparently Field of Ruin did work. All right, well, let's see. All right, I'm not going to delay anymore. Let's just play Skyclave and then attack for 3. I just need to put them dead next turn. All right, play a land, go. Kalitas. All right, apparently it was a bad move playing this. We're just drawing also nothing, so... All right, pass it back over to them. I can block Kalitas with Lovestruck Beast. They spent so many turns doing nothing, and then they just had Kalitas. Yep, and then... So they make a 2/2 zombie, and then they attack here, and we can't block because it's a 2/2 right now. All right, and then they go back up to 8. And we're just drawing nothing. All right, well, back over to them. We still can't even block because they can sack the zombie at instant speed. Invoke Despair. All right, so we take 5, they go to 11. We'd have to basically draw, like, rip multiple Cocos back to back in order to get out of this. Yeah, that's not going to do it. I guess this at least blocks the zombie, and we still take lethal. Yeah, all right, we're dead. So blue-black, what I assume is Archfiend Alteration, but it's just, like, basically blue-black control. So I should just grab Guardian of Faith, Wedding Announcement, a Johnny, Voice, Shapers. They do have Edicts and Sweepers, but they also have targeted removal. Is Anointed good in this matchup? I guess it keeps them off certain things. So what's bad in this matchup? Brutal Cathars that just die and their creatures come back. What few of them they have. Archon doesn't seem terribly good. Like, they don't need to play multiple spells a turn. So that out. Anointed in. Is Redain good? It makes their 4-mana Crippling Fears more expensive. It makes Invoke more expensive. Yeah, so those in. What am I cutting? 8, 14, 30. Don't need as many Skyclaves, probably. In fact, they're never forced to play any threats whatsoever. They could have Shieldred, could have Archfiend. I think I'm just supposed to try to aggro them down. And that leaves one more cut. Love Beast or Wolf? Wolf at least draws cards and is cheaper. All right, Love Beast. Submit that. This hand's fine. Keep this. Shock this in, play an elf, go. If they don't Thoughtseize or kill my elf, then I'm pretty sure I just run out a Johnny immediately, but it looks like that's not happening. All right, Fatal Push. Voice is a good draw. Now we need lands. Castle Locthwain. Didn't draw a land, unfortunately, so let's swing with Voice, I guess. Swing. Heart's Desire on the Lovestruck Beast. Heart's Desire on the other Lovestruck Beast. All right, back to them. 3 mana Kaido. All right, and then it phases out so we can't do anything to it. Well, I also can't block this. Anyway, green, green, play Pack Leader. Combat, attack them with everything. Man, if they just have Crippling Fear here, we're so dead. Yep, looks like it. We get a Voice token, and they get to attack we can't block, and then they draw a card, and then I have to draw another land to kill Kaido. Still, all right, at least it was Voice. So, play Voice, and now this is big enough to kill Kaido. But we're just mana bricking turn after turn after turn here. It's kind of ridiculous. Hallstorm Giants. Can't block their ninja, so we take 1. Kalitas, which is a problem. How have we not drawn another land by now? This is just stupid. All right, pass the turn. Kalitas also nullifies this death trigger. Thoughtseize, sure. Took a Johnny, because all the other cards are basically redundant effects, and they cost more than 3. Combat. Swings with both, no blocks. We go to 8. They go up to 11. Shieldred. All right, we're super incredibly dead. We still haven't drawn another land. I don't think I can possibly win this game, even if I immediately rip another land into Coco. Are we almost just completely dead on board here? I have to chump multiple creatures this turn. I have to put Elemental and Voice of Resurgence in front of Kalitas and Shieldred. Go to 5. Yeah, all right, we die. Mana bricked out of the game. On to round 4. Didn't we also just brick multiple turns in the last match? Yeah, so we just lost that entire match to Mana Screw and Flood. All right. On the draw for round 4. Can we at least go 2 and 3 this league? Only 1 land. That's a mole. I don't want to go to 5. I guess I'm keeping this and putting back a land or a Skyclave. No, I'll put back a Skyclave. Valakut Awakening. So it's probably, is it Creativity or Gruul Possibility Storm? All right, play this tapped, go. All right, I guess it's the Gruul Possibility Storm deck. Well, play this tapped, go. This hand is not set up to beat Gruul Possibility Storm. Nothing on turn 3 either. Well, I'm not going to run out Skyclave, so back to them. Valakut Awakening on our end step, 2 cards. So they put 1 back. Also doesn't bode well for us. 4 mana for fires. All right, so maybe still possibilities to cultivate. All right, officially have no clue what this is. Grabs forests. So I should probably Skyclave that. Skyclave the fires. Pass. Another fires. Doesn't matter. All right. The Elder Dragon War. Deal 2 to everything. Kills our guy. They get a 4/4. Discard any member, then draw that many. Create a 4/4. Well, we've drawn nothing but lands. I think I'm going to wait more before casting Kayla's. It doesn't feel like we're under pressure to not lose it immediately. Although if it's the Possibility Storm deck, then I guess we could just lose at any moment. But I at least want to get X's 3 out of this. They did 3 cards with the Elder Dragon War. Chandra Awakened Inferno. All right, we instantly lose the game. Because even if I Kayla's here, then they can just sweep the board. Eska's Chariot. So it's just Gruul, like, Fire's Ramp, basically. Or Fire's Value, I don't know. I just can't beat Chandra. There's just no way I can possibly beat Chandra, right? Another Kayla's. All right, so white, white, white. X's 3. What do we hit? That was an atrocious hit. Oh my god. Skyclave and 2 Mana Elves. What am I even Skyclaving? I guess Chariot? Yeah, all right. So they make a 4/4 with flying. Chandra can literally sweep the board, and then they're just not even going to bother with that. All right. Another Elder Dragon War. Oh, that sweeps the board. And then we take 4 Torch of Defiance as well. At 9, we take another 4 from this, go to 5, then 2 from this. We just lose the game. There's no way we can win. All right. So they're playing a bunch of sweepers, so the shapers are probably not even good. I guess Voice is good. Ajani's probably good. Ordain's definitely good. Anointed's good. Wedding Announcement. Guardian of Faith to protect from the sweeping effects. Norn. None of their stuff has ETB triggers except, well, Chariot does. But everything else didn't. Although it's a big enough creature that it survives all their red sweeps, so it's probably worth it. So then all the bad stuff is like, yeah, Brutal Cathar and Skyclaves that just die to all their burn and then just give them value. Which leaves us with how many Cocoable creatures? 16, 22, 30. So we're still good there. Even if I cut 2 more. What am I cutting? Probably need to try to aggro them out. Oh, Archon of Emiria seems also kind of bad here. Yeah, all right, let's do that. On the play, we only have 1 land. Moldus. Really needed to have a hand that started with a Mana Elf. But since we don't, not going to 5. So keep this, put back Branch Loft. And then we're going to turn 3 an Anointed Peacekeeper, I guess. Play this tapped, go. Lair of the Hydra. All right, there's Voice of Resurgence. So let's do that. Back to them. Blast Zone. Maze Mine Tome, sure. Ooh, a Johnny as well. All right, let's get this out. So Anointed Peacekeeper. What's in your hand? Helix, Fires, Courser, Elder Dragon War. So they actually can't play anything. So they're just trying to draw off the top, so I can just name Maze Mind, and then they can't draw with that, and then they're at the mercy of getting bricked at mana. All right, so let's just name Maze Mind Tome. Combat, attack with the Voice. And then next turn I can play a Johnny and start growing these creatures so that they get out of range of all the red sweeps. All right, Blast Zone number 2. Yeah, this costs 4 to activate now, right? Or no, I guess the Scry costs 2. All right, yeah, let's just play a Johnny. Or I could just run out Lovestruck Beast. That's more damage faster. Even if they don't have double red for Elder, although they can just find 4th land and play Fires and then play Elder. All right, let's do a Johnny. So green, white, Johnny. Actually, no, if I do that, it comes in with 2 counters and then I'm just plussing to reveal. The -3 is what I want. So I want it to come in with 4. So that being the case, I should just play a Wedding Announcement and then I draw a card off of it. Yeah, let's do that. Wedding Announcement, then swing with both of these guys. And we'll get to draw a card to try to find mana. Maze Mind's Home, Scry activation, sure. Oh no, they're putting a charge counter on Blast Zone, sure. Swing. So 13, Wedding Announcement trigger, draw. Valakut Awakening was their land. So next turn they get to go Fire's Elder Dragon War. Although we're still in a position where that's not actually a bad thing for us. All right, combat, swing with both of these guys. So they can put another one on it and then pop it for 3. So I have to diversify my mana values, I guess. Let's play Pack Leader and Heart's Desire this one. Puts another counter here. And then end step trigger with the announcement. Draw an elf. Fires. Elder Dragon sweeps this one and this one, but then we maintain lethal damage. So that's a bad move on their part. Unless they just make a dragon, I guess. No, that's terrible for them. We get voice trigger, voice comes back, and then we have lethal. All right, so we won that game. And then, yeah, just keep everything the same. So Archon versus Fires of Invention, fine. No, yeah, I guess Archon versus Fire of Invention is actually good. What are we cutting, though? Lovestruck Beast? All right, submit that. Still no mana elves. All right, it's a keepable hand, though. Arboreal Grazer. Not even Elvish Mystic or anything. I guess they can't do that because they're playing so many red, like, Pyroclasm effects that it just kills all their own elves. All right, Lair, Heart's Desire, go. So I curve Voice next turn and then either Archon or Spellbinder. Seiju, Maze Mind Tome. Another Grazer with no lands. All right, so shock that in, play Voice, and pass. No effects from their sides, back on us. Spellbinder's probably the better option right now. Make a sweeper more expensive. Their hand is Elder Gargaroth, Inscription of Abundance. Choose one or more if you kicked it. +2 counters on a guy, gain life, doesn't matter, fight. So for 5 mana, they can go 2 counters on Grazer, fight something. So let's just choose Gargaroth. All right, just pass. Draws a card with Maze Mind. Scries with Maze Mind. Forest. All right, so back to us. If they use the inscription when I attack to block, voice will trigger. So, land. So let's see. I can use a Johnny to get these guys above the point where them inscriptioning matters. So play a Johnny. So distribute counters here and here. Get them above the 2 damage range. And then go to combat. Attack with everything. Block our token. And then damage, they go to 12. And then it's back to them. So if they're going to do this, they should do it now so that I don't get the voice token. No, they're just going to pass with Maze open. All right, let's plus a Johnny. Put Temple Garden on the bottom of your library. Yes. All right, combat, swing. If I attack and they go inscription, fight, that's fine. Let's just swing with everything. Inscription, and what is the modes? They're fighting the token, sure. And then this is big enough that it can block voice without dying. All right, block here, scries with the tome, and they gain life with the tome, and then this one dies and they take no damage. All right, let's do Elf and Wedding Announcement. Is it better to play, yeah, and Wedding Announcement. End step, this triggers, we draw. Another land, it's still not red. Cultivate. So force to hand, they don't have a mountain, or they just didn't bother to grab one? All right, plus a Johnny. Put Collected Company on the bottom? No. So I should play all my creatures now so that this elemental token gets bigger. So Elf. Actually, let's play Redain first. Redain and Elf. And then go to combat. Attack with everything. Blocks voice and takes 11 down to 7 life. Triggers, draw Coco. All right. Tap everything for Elder Gargaroth. Yeah. So if they have 2 blocks, they block here and they still take lethal, right? Because it's block here, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exactly. Yeah, so they're dead. Oh wait, no, but this gains life when they block, right? Yeah, so they're not dead. So I have to distribute counters among all my guys, and then they're dead. So yeah, the highest damages are here. And then I go a Johnny minus, distribute the counters. Yeah, I may as well just activate this for the heck of it. Go to combat, swing with everything. Block there and there, trigger, gain 3, they still lose. All right, on to the 5th round. All right, we're on the play for the 5th round. This is fine. Shock Temple Garden, play an elf, go. Island, Ruin Crab. All right, so yeah, let's Skyclave that. All right, pass back to them. Another Ruin Crab, land trigger, we mill some stuff. All right, Brutal Cathar, take your other crab, play elf, go to combat, attack with this. Opponent goes to 18, pass to them. 2 mana, Maddening Cacophony, mill 8, sure. So straight up mill. All right, Heart's Desire, cast Lovestruck Beast, other Heart's Desire, combat, attack with everything. All right, so they are conceding to that. Sideboarding versus mill. I guess I want Anointed Peacekeeper, and is Redain useful here? I don't think so. If they're all in on mill, then they're probably not playing counter spells, which makes Voice of Resurgence irrelevant. Archon's also probably not too relevant. I guess Voice is the same amount of damage, so I may as well just cut Archon. Redain's probably more relevant than Archon. I don't know. Is it? Maybe it is. Yeah, I guess let's go with that. Submit. This hand's a little bit slow without an elf, but it's fine. Keep. We still have 2-drop into Skyclave for their crabs into Coco. Opponent's on a mold of 5 this game. Dark Slick Shore. Oh, they are blue and black. They just didn't have black mono last time. All right. Tap land, go. Well, if I knew they weren't mono blue, I probably would have boarded in Rip to make Drown in the Lock irrelevant. Shockin, Temple Garden, activate for Werewolf Pack Leader, pass to them. Fabled Passage, Founding the Third Path, Fatal Pushing our guy, sure. All right, I guess let's just Skyclave the Founding, eat the Founding, back to them, fetching with Fabled Passage, getting an island. 3 mana, Fraying Sanity. Oh, they are on that combo. Huh. Can't play any of my expensive Coco-esque cards, so I may as well just play Pack Leader, attack with Skyclave, and then back to them, land, Founding the Third Path, Chapter 1, casting Breaking, and then Fraying triggers, and we mill another 8. All right. Well, they're at 0 cards, though. Then they get to cast another thing from the graveyard, I guess. All right, play Voice, Combat, swing with these guys. So then this mills us for another 4. Ruin Crab. All right, at least we can eat that. Fraying triggers. We're at 24 cards left in the deck. All right, play Brutal Cathar. Take the Ruin Crab. Then go to combat. And we have them dead in 1 turn. We are milling. We're going to mill over another 16 because of... So wait, they ape new us. Then we lose another 4, right? So we're at 14 and then we're dead to Breaking Entering. All right, they did it. Breaking and Entering to mill 16 cards. All right. So... now that I know a little bit more about what it is that they're doing, what does Fraying Sanity say exactly? Each end step, enchanted player puts top X into their graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into their graveyard. All right, so Rip just obliterates that plan. It obliterates Drown in the Lock, so we definitely want Rip. Archon is a little bit good against Founding, because it means they can't double spell in the first chapter. Redain was completely useless. It doesn't look like they're playing any sort of, like, they have Fatal Push, but other than that, it doesn't look like they're playing Counterspell. Maybe they're playing Drown. They're probably playing Drown. So I guess it's still good. So what's bad? Kayla's, because it's too slow. We're just not going to get there. Archon's still kind of bad, isn't it? Yeah, let's just not bother with that. All right, this is fine. Submit. All right, keep. Razor Verge, Elvish Mystic, pass. I probably just play Lovestruck next turn unless they play a Crab. All right, so there's the Crab. Play this, and then Skyclave the Crab. Then back over to them. Another Crab. Watery Grave, Chalked in, triggers, we mill 3. Another Crab. Yikes. Well, so land, Let's play Peacekeeper. See what's going on with their hand. Drown, Yahenni's Expertise, Jace, Bontus. I guess I gotta take Bontus or we're just friggin' dead, right? They have Drown in the lock, which means they can drown stuff as well. So if I don't take Drown, or if I don't choose Bontus and I choose Drown, and then they just draw a black source, they blow the field up. They lose their crabs, but we lose everything of ours, which is so bad. Yahenni's is also -3. So incredibly bad. So multiple sweepers that we can't deal with. Man, that is rough. Let's pick Drown. Drown in the lock, and then let's Heart's Desire this one. Pass. The fact they have 2 different sweepers means there's just no way we're ever gonna... They drew another crab, eh? It makes their sweepers worse that they have to kill all their crabs. All right, let's go combat, attack all. I guess I just have to play... Yeah, I should run Rip Out. No, I shouldn't. Because if they just draw a sweeper... All right, I have to play as though they just don't have Bontus, basically. Because this board's not enough to pressure them. Yeah, all right, let's just swing here and then play Lovestruck Beast. So swing here, play Lovestruck Beast, and then if they sweep the board, we get to rebuild with Elf. And if they don't sweep the board, then we have a 5/5 to put more pressure on them. Breaking, all right. No lands yet. Brutal Cathar, I definitely am not playing right now. So go to combat, attack with everything. I don't want to play this Elf in case they draw the black source, then I can play the Elf and get more mana up to Kayla's. So they can just keep blocking here for now, right? Take 8, and then we play Rip. And then no playing of the Elf. All right, they drew their other land. So then Bontus, everything dies. They get a 1/1 back as an illusion. I was hoping I'd draw land there, but I guess not. Oh, and one of our lands is a white source as well, so I can't double here. This puts the most pressure on them, I guess. All right, Werewolf Pack Leader, go. And the next turn I can just Brutal Eat that and start attacking them. They missed their turn because of Bontus, and then it's back to us. Man, just running all this stuff into Yahenni's expertise as well if they just draw another land is so bad. Play Brutal, eat that. Let's just play this tapped, because they're dead next turn if they don't sweep anyway. But if they do sweep, we want to rebuild. So swing here. I guess I didn't even really need to do that, right? I could have just made this a 5-3. Although Brutal as a 2-2 that doesn't do anything was not going to be that helpful anyway. All right, they just didn't have the thing. All right, so we only went 2 and 3, and the 2 decks that we beat were Gruul Ramp and Dimir Mill, you know, not really meta decks. I think the deck performed horribly, although I think it is better than how it performed. There were games that we lost. We lost to Nykthos just doing its Nykthos thing, and we also lost to just getting flooded and then screwed back to back in one of those matches. So I think the deck is better than the showcase here, but it is obviously rough. It doesn't have the same sort of like fast aggro starts as other aggro decks outside of the times when you go like Elf into a turn 2 Lovestruck Beast and start smacking them for 5, but more often than not, you're more like a toolbox, or not a toolbox, but like a Hate Bears-esque deck that is not beating down that fast. And it has the same problem as like all Hate Bear decks do, which is that some pieces are better than others. So like there's matchups where Archon really doesn't matter too much. There's matchups where Elite Spellbinder isn't so great. There's matchups where Brutal Cathar and Skyclave maybe aren't that great. So you have all these cards that are like good and bad in various matchups, and it winds up being that if you just need to aggro your opponent out, these cards are not going to help you do that. But anyways, that brings us to the end of the Green-White Cocoa League.